Writing for the Washington Post this week, legal experts Donald Iyer and Norm Isen pointed out that Donald Trump is actually in so much legal trouble that his actual lawyers, people who he has hired over the years to represent him and work on legal issues for him, could themselves end up being prosecuted for a variety of items here. Now, obviously, they point out the two most obvious ones. That is, of course, Rudy Giuliani, who is still under investigation in Manhattan for his alleged role in the whole Ukraine dealing. Maybe he was operating as an unregistered foreign agent. Maybe he wasn't. That's what they're trying to figure out. And then they mention another one. They mention Eric Cardall, who has recently been referred to a court grievance committee for potential punishment because Cardall filed an allegedly bogus case attacking the November election results. Again, those two are fairly obvious. And of course, Giuliani, also with Donald Trump now, is facing potential legal action in the state of Georgia, was reported this week, for his involvement in that whole fiasco. So here's the thing, though. It's not just these two individuals, and it's not because they outright, engaged in the scandals, I guess. It's the other ones. The other ones employed by the Trump organization, much like Michael Cohen over the years. And that's kind of overlooked a little bit in this piece. And I think that's what really the focus should have been. Donald Trump, if he and the organization and his kids did what prosecutors in New York believe he did, falsifying all of this data, submitting the falsified data to banks, to the tax authorities, to the city, to everybody else under the sun, they couldn't have done it in a vacuum, right? And that's actually why, as was reported earlier this week, Manhattan is now working on finding witnesses. If your signature was on a document, they want to talk to you. They want to know why. If you worked in bookkeeping or accounting at the Trump organization, they want to talk to you. And if you were one of the lawyers who looked over these documents and approved them, because yes, folks, that happens, then you may have knowingly submitted falsified data and therefore could also find yourself subject to some criminal charges, or at the very least, referred, much like Cardall, to the legal boards that look into possible punishment, possible disbarment of these lawyers. So that's the big problem here. It's not just the Giulianis, it's not just the Cardalls out there who knowingly did these things. It's the other ones who acted as willing accomplices for years and years and years. Again, of course, if everything that New York is investigating turns out to be true. If they find out Donald Trump did nothing wrong, then these lawyers have nothing to worry about. But if something turns up, and these lawyers are the ones who have their names stamped all over those documents, then yeah, they're going to be in a world of trouble, much like Trump and his kids. As always, it's a wait-and-see kind of situation. There is no guarantee that charges are going to come from this. There is no guarantee that a prosecution is going to come. There is no guarantee that the Trump administration or organization did anything wrong. But that's why we have investigations, to flush everything out. And based on all of the developments so far with this investigation, it's kind of safe to assume someone, somewhere along the way, committed some kind of crime. I mean, you don't go looking for witnesses if you haven't found anything that they need to witness yet. That's the other part of these lawyers too. If they were involved in this, they actually would face a much higher probability of being prosecuted for it than, say, Donald Trump. Because as I've repeatedly said, we're in uncharted waters here with Donald Trump. If they do find out that he engaged in any kind of criminal activity, do you actually prosecute a former president of the United States? That's unprecedented for us. France just did it. They had good luck with it too. So maybe that kind of sets the international precedent for it, but it's going to be a lot harder for a jury, judge, the court system here in the United States that Donald Trump packed it's going to be a little bit harder for them to prosecute him. So they may focus more on the people lower down the totem pole. So in the end, some of these lawyers might end up in actual more trouble than Trump himself.